This is how we ride. This is how we do.
We're here at this garage here, and they call this place the Hillbilly High Banks, apparently. And there's a guy named TimSims around here.
Hey, the Chaz!
Oh my God!
What the hell are you
Oh
doing here at the High Banks?
Oh, why is it the Hillbilly High Banks?
It's the Hillbilly High Banks, capital sprint car of the world on the hillbilly side.
In Lima, Ohio.
In Lima, Ohio. Yeah, Beantown.
Open the door. You even have the wife with a puppy showing up. You stole Rico's dog?
Go on in, Chaz. Check it out.
What do you got? With your 4-crown shirt on. Who makes those shirts? Do you do shirts?
I got shirts.
Oh, you got hoodies.
TimSims, down in Dirty Raceware.
So you got stuff all along the wall.
It's our workshop. We work in here, but we
You got Jack Hewitt? Are you a Jack Hewitt?
Oh, yeah. Jack Hewitt and Hewitt's like my heroes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Jack, both Jacks grew up. We got family named after them both.
Okay.
But this is just a little collection of what I've done over the years, and I'm have fun building. As you see the Hillbilly High Banks.
Yeah, I see this.
Check that
I see
out.
this. What do you got down here? Is that Jack Hewitt stuff?
That's something Jack Hewitt ran around
What
the dirt
is
track.
this?
It looks like a hood that I didn't crash.
Trophy from 2001, the East Bay, King of the 360s.
For what,
Jeff
though?
Shepard won that. My uncle's race car. We had the trophy here.
Wait, so you have not fake cars, you got real cars?
My uncle's raced. Jack Hewitt drove many of these over the years. Greg Wilson. You'll see pictures all around of different people that drove them up here.
Was there ever a time when he wrecked your 31 car?
First time in it.
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, the Nickle brothers said, we went to Eldora and they said, get in there and hot lap the car. So we did, and, anyway, Don Nickles out there waving me on.
And Don Nickles is...
Yeah, one of them.
Okay.
Don and Harold, we had a dime's worth of Nickle brothers. And anyway, so we ended up coming off of 4, and I hit the fence pretty hard. The only thing that saved me for the day is it rained out, and so Dad didn't get a race. Nobody did, so it saved my
okay.
butt.
Okay.
Harold and Don, they didn't care, but Dad did.
Who is this?
Jody?
Donnie Hewitt.
Donnie Hewitt,
from
okay.
Orange Park, Florida. He spells his name different. They're from
Okay.
the South. They're not quite as smart.
Is
as
that
we
the
up
guy
north.
who used to whoop Earl Pearson's ass in the late mall?
Bad.
No.
Yeah, he taught Earl everything he knows.
No, what about Earl Jr.? What happened?
Earl Jr. was a great guy, man. He that's what Jack introduced us earlier as Earl. Me and Earl growing up together, but Earl grew up with me. I was past my prime when Earl started prime,
But he
he's had
learned.
a lot of. He's the most successful guy come from our area for sure. He's done a great job. Proud of him.
You know, you got all these guys here, and you're the most successful person in the building right now.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Look at your pretty face and receding hairline. Now, when Jack Hewitt's old famous line, "Kiss my dick," is that a literal term for you or no?
Well, he just said he was at a gay bar. out
That's
in
what I'm
Vegas.
saying. He was just
he
bragging
must be-
about
We
it.
had no plans to speak about this one. That has nothing to do with Jack
so
Hewitt
good.
racing, okay?
That's
That's a whole other story in
Oh,
Vegas,
okay, yeah.
All
whole
right,
nother story.
Jack.
Hey, we
We'll
know
get
what
started.
we know what you mean by the hard hat. You know what I'm talking about. You
I knew he was
gotta
coming, so I got mine ready. Man.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Where'd they get it?
The hard hits are about ready to get started. The Chaz and Hewitt deal.
Let's put it this way. There's a construction.
Oh, don't even go there. No. Here's probably one of my favorite pieces from Jack Hewitt. That's special to me that I've had for a long time. But here's a little picture if you want to get down here.
Oh, you want me to get down?
Yeah, see, there's Hewitt and his dad Don.
Yeah,
Get down there. Get down. Your turn. It's not your turn. Sit down.
Yeah, I saw this straw.
It's not your turn.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
You gotta watch this guy.
Yeah, I know.
Watch this guy. But anyways, you guys sit down over. I'm gonna bend over this way. But there's Jack and his dad Don. What started with my uncle there when he was a younger age, and I got stories I could tell you all day about him. And there's Jack in the IndyCar.
Okay.
He finished 12th that year, right, Jack? Well, a few months after that, Jack always comes to my uncle's garage. Jack showed up when I was down at the garage, and I look, see the red van at the garage, you know you got to go. Jack Hewitt, right? So I go down there, and he says, Timmy boy, that's what he calls me. He said, I got something specially for you. And it's, put it right up here. It's in the bottom, that hat right there. See the hat, Jack Hewitt, the Troy on there?
Yeah.
We won his midgets, what we won the 4-crown in, and their dirt car. But he was tied in with 6R at the time. And but Bob Parker's the reason I made it to Indianapolis Speedway, you know.
What do you think about midgets in Eldora right now? It seems like, all you got to do is make a little mistake. Some people think that the car shouldn't be on the track anymore because of how, you can really get messed up there in a midget now. It's a high-speed track, a little car, they're building them light.
That's why there's a fence there. There's people that's afraid to go to Eldora, and there's people that aren't. Well, the kids
that's
today
true.
and everybody else. It's always been dangerous. If you want to bitch about the midgets, what about the non-moral cage cars?
Right.
They raced there then, too. So, yeah. just let that fence be there, and the people want a bitch, keep on the other side of the fence.
There you go.
Here's another pride picture of mine. It's actually in Jack's book. But that was out Mount Vernon.
Okay.
Don't know the exact year of that. But that was your last non-wing win, wasn't it, Jack?
Yep.
Yep.
Last USAC race.
And Dennis Kaiser on that car, which was one of my uncles, the Nickle brothers.
And so that's a 31.
That's Dennis Kaiser in the car at that time. But this
Okay.
came from my uncle shortly before he got it.
Well, we went and I was driving for Bill Biddle out of Terre Haute, and he had 2 or 3 cars, sprint cars, and anyways, for something was going on, we didn't get along, and we quit, or he fired me, I don't remember which, but Dennis went and bought the car off of Nickle Brothers, and we went out, and the first time Dennis owned a race car, the very first night out, we won the USAC sprint car feature at North Vernon. He thought, well, hell, there ain't nothing to this, you know.
Right.
After that, he struggled a bit, paying all the bills where I was tearing shit up.
Oh, God.
But we remained friends, and it was still a night to remember. And you can tell we had a whole wad of Nickle brothers there then anyways.
Right. Nickel and diamond them. That's what
Yeah.
And here's a picture. I wasn't sure, but this is his next to last wing win. Of course, see, that was in a 31 car.
Right.
And that was at Lima Land, of course. But he drove for our uncles in a lot of different cars. But I thought that was his last wing win. But I knew it was close. But he won one in the 16 car at Fremont.
Yeah.
Finland.
Okay,
But that was
okay.
his next to last. So I've lied to a few people. It's next to his last win.
Winged racing. How was winged racing back in the day? Was PA tough back then? Did you ever go over there? Or?
I never went over there a whole lot, you know. We just, we stuck around Ohio quite a bit, and they were just tough. I mean, the Pennsylvania guys, you didn't go over asking for trouble. It would be like going to a bar with a whole bunch of 200-pounders wanting an ass whipping. Well, that's what PA
Right.
did all the time, you know. You had Opperman and Welt, Barry Camp, you know, Lynn Paxton. You had all them guys there, and you're not going to go to their backyard and beat them, you know.
Right.
And they came to Eldora. They struggled too, you know, a little bit. I mean, it was just home track advantage, but back in the day, it didn't make any difference. If we went to a track that didn't run wings, we took the wings off. If they ran wings, we put the wings on. And that was the World Outlaws at the beginning. They
Right.
did the same thing.
Well, wings were made out of all kinds of things back then. It wasn't just aluminum. Some people
I
actually
remember-
used wood. Yeah.
They have the most high dollars wings that you could come up back, not by the day standard, but they had the nice looking wings. And Jimmy Linder from Fremont had probably a 3x3 piece of plywood with a 3x3 sideboard on both sides, and he won so many races up at Eldora. It was just unbelievable. He won them everywhere, but he won a lot of them at Eldora.
With a plywood wing.
Just a small plywood wing.
Wow.
That car sits in Fremont's museum right now with that
That's
wing.
with that wing on it?
Yes, it sure does.
But they had a lot, like Fremont had Raleigh Beal, USAC champion, sprint car champion, Jimmy and Freddie Leonard, Johnny Beaver, Al Franks, Harold McGilton. They had a lot of great sprint car drivers come out of there, then Keegan later. They called it the action track, you know, and it was because it built a lot of race car drivers that went on to do a lot bigger things.
What else? Is there any more stories with Jack? Do you have, what's the Sasquatch story where he's fighting people and stuff?
No, that was a long time ago with Jack. Tell you that one. He smacked Swindell for taking him out.
Whoa, what do you mean? You
Lawrence
you smacked Sammy Swindell?
Just a little. Him and I just...
Just a little. How do you, what?
Yeah, like I said, it just... If you crash me once, that's racing. You do it the second time, I want you to quit running my race car. And we was probably still racing, and I had a little bit of a temper. And
Where was this at?
Lawrenceburg,
Butler,
Indiana.
Michigan.
Okay.
Oh, there's Lawrenceburg, one I know of.
Oh, you slapped him more than once here. That's what
That's the
happened.
one I witnessed.
Oh,
That's the one I
okay,
witnessed.
okay.
When Sasquatch came out of the woods to tell them they ain't going to touch Jack. Yeah, I've seen that one.
We were just bad. Like I said, I used to be young and fitty,
And so was Sammy.
yeah, no, now I'm old and just mouthy.
Oh, okay.
A total different
okay.
deal. You know, I can't back it up no more. But I got into it with a few drivers, and they all became, we're still friends. We talk and everything. It wasn't no big deal. And I didn't do it to make enemies, you know. But they quit crashing. Well, back then we had a thing called respect. And NASCAR don't know anything about that.
Right.
You know, and a few things. And a lot of these sprint cars and midgets.
The new midget kids sure don't know that.
Have no idea what it's about. And back in the day, we did have respect, and that's what changed racing. Now it's just high-speed bumper cars.
Well, do you think that danger element is what's made the difference there? Because back in the day, if you raced a little stupid, you could get killed. And today, the cars are so safe that you can almost take a extreme ride and walk away. Whereas if you took those rides back in that day, you weren't walking away. So you had to race a little bit more respectfully because you didn't want to hurt yourself, kill yourself today.
Well, but no, we had thought about hurting somebody else, too. It wasn't that we was worried about getting hurt by ourselves. It's just we didn't really.
Well, it's vice versa. It was just more dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. There wasn't as much safety stuff without a doubt. And now, the safer you get, the more braver you are. You know,
Right.
It's just like you can take a 110-pound kid on the internet. He'll mouth off to the biggest guy on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't have to face up to it. Well, now it's the same thing. They can't get in much trouble as they did back in the day. So, you know.
Right. They got a tire changer that'll handle all their, it ain't the drivers getting in the fights anymore. It's the tire changers,
it's Yeah. Today, if you get mad at somebody, you gotta go down and slap their dad because they're too old to hit. Problem, everybody wants to go down there and mouth today. You know, they want to go down there and give them a lip lashing. Well, they don't. You go home, you laugh about that, you know.
Right.
Or if you go and get up in the morning and look at that black eye, you think, oh, now I know why I got this, you know. And you don't just have it over with. You're going to look at it for 3 or 4 days.
In your opinion, is that before NASCAR lost their balls?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just saying, they did. They eventually had.
Actually, Earnhardt's the one that started all that shit.
Yes.
Right,
You know?
right.
And that ain't him and I. He was born in '51. He's the same age as me, and I was an Earnhardt fan. You know, just because we was the same age and everything. But then when they got to calling him intimidator, when he started crashing cars and taking them out, I kind of lost a little respect for him. You know, I still think as a driver, he's one of the best that ever was. He just his intimidation tactics was more than just mouthing.
Right.
You know, and
Everybody likes to see a clean racer make clean pass.
and he didn't. You know, Dale Earnhardt could win a race anywhere, anytime. He didn't need to bump people to move him out of the way.
It's the lazy way. That's what
Well,
you're
it wasn't
saying.
even that. He got to where he was expected to, you know, and he had to live up to his reputation, and he did it well.
Well, in the 25s up there, this is like the home region of Tim Richmond, right?
Yeah.
That's Schrader
Kenny
there. I
Schrader
think.
up
But
there.
it was the same. Richmond ran the 25 for
He ran
Hendrick.
it after Schrader.
Right.
But Schrader's he was before Jeff Gordon.
Right. And I always make a joke about Days of Thunder. They say it's based on Tim Richmond, a California sprint car driver who never went to Indy, where Tim Richmond was from Ohio and raced Indy cars. It's like, how did they know that Jeff Gordon was coming 4 years later?
He ran a sprint car.
Yeah, he
a
ran.
little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Richmond did.
Yeah, Richmond ran it
He
all.
wasn't no good at it, but he ran them.
Yeah.
And he made up for it and everything else. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah, you can see, of course, once Earnhardt disappeared, I stopped. Oh, I followed with the dirt guys on NASCAR pretty much. But I love my dirt so much. I'm a dirt guy, but I did like Earnhardt. I cheered for Junior for a while. But as you get up here and see, I don't know, a lot of these people, here's some coffee cans. A couple old ones still got the coffee in them.
Oh, the old Richard Petty's.
Petty's. And up here, some sun drop. There's some old ones. A lot of people probably never seen them right there. Don't know if you ever seen them. You see the picture of them on there? Them are kind of old. Jack, want to walk over here with us real quick?
What do you got over here?
Oh, we just got some toys. Of course, here, you know, I just acquired this from a buddy of mine.
Yeah, the Toyota deal. That makes no sense to me. I couldn't believe that you were a Toyota guy. When did this happen?
When I started driving for 6R, they was into Toyotas, and luckily I got to be with them a little bit to run. Unfortunately, it was at the end of my career, you know. I didn't get to start with them, you know, but Toyota never backed me anyway. That'd have been too old. But
Right.
But I've part of it for a while, and badass motors.
Yeah. I guess you got a book or something. Is that
We got a
it?
book out, Hewitt's Law, and we're gonna have our T-shirts. And we're gonna be at TimSims at the World Finals
Okay. So you'll be at
in
World Finals.
Charlotte there on the 1st of November.
Okay.
So hope to see a lot of new people there that Jeff Gordon and Kenny Wallace has lied to them all about me. So maybe we can get back and tell them the real story, the truth.
Oh, the truth. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard you.
Take care of that.
I heard you caught Kenny and Jeff in bed together at a hotel one time.
No, I never heard that. I never heard that.
Okay.
Kenny Wallace, as much as he talked, he won't quiet up no one enough to have sex. He'd be telling you what you're doing wrong during it anyways.
Oh my.
Yeah.
My little bubblegum machine with all the cards and stuff in it.
Does it actually work?
It worked with bubblegum, but it won't work with the cards.
Oh, my
I
God.
can't afford to sell a car for a quarter.
Oh my.
No,
God.
there's too much inflation nowadays. That
much
Biden guy.
Oh,
yeah, Biden did that.
Biden did
Yeah, that's
it?
why we got it out of order, man.
You need to have the little Biden sticker that points up says I did
I ain't
that.
have nothing like that in my garage.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know.
Come here, little girl. Look what I got.
Oh wow.
There's a steering that my uncle's built, the style of steering he used to have.
Okay.
Here's an old bell from my grandpa's place from the hillbilly spot down in Kentucky.
You got AJ Foyt, Wolfgang, Greg
some posters
Hodnett.
I have over there. Still working on this wall some here. And you look at a good picture over there. Clausen and Kins are in over there. Donnie
So
Shot.
is that Eldora sign? Is that like an old one or?
That's an old one. That's from double-sided. I can't tell you when that's from, but I'm sure that's some of the first ones in the 60s right there. But if you want to see one better than that, I'll show you here in a second.
Let's-
That was probably the original.
Where's
Probably
the
original. Jack might have remembered some of them signs. I don't know. But like I said, I acquired them a long time ago and had them put up. But yeah, them are pretty neat.
What-
I've actually got rid of a couple of them in auctions for my injured drivers fund, and they've brought a lot of money for us. It's been
Okay.
a good thing for us.
Okay.
Again, I can see some pictures of Allen and Hillenberg, and I'm working on that.
Kinzer.
The old Skull Bandit. That's an original Skull Bandit banner up there.
Oh, whose
From way
hat's
back
that?
in the days. Hat's that. That was 78. Hodenschild, when he wrecked on the King's Royal and flipped and won the night before in the King's Royal, he autographed that hat. That's just
wow.
one of his hats. You know, like I said, I was good friends with Hod. But I got a few things for him. Of course, did you show him the wing?
Yeah,
It's
well,
not actually a Hodenschild wing. I bought that brand new and put it together.
Lettered
and
it.
Lettered it up because, you know, Hod's a good friend of mine.
Well, you know it wasn't hot. It's straight.
It's straight.
No,
Another
wow.
Jack Hewitt piece is straight, get hot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Night
We're
and
working on
day.
this room here, and we don't have all the lights and stuff in here. You can see all the stuff. And speaking of Hodenschild, here's one of his early seats.
What year? What do you think?
Oh, I could remember. I've had this for I don't know how many years, but I'm sure it was from back in the days. Jack knows more about the years around that seat, so
Butler built ain't that old a seat, but the neat one, Nance built some just a fuss smaller for Al Unser Sr.
Oh, really?
And he said, yeah, he said, I got to get more than one, though. He said, because I know a lot of half-assed drivers.
Nice.
and you see my Hoosier tire that I've displayed. We moved
Right.
some over there. They're all autographed. Over
And that's
here,
your
we got some-
Dirty Dick stuff?
That's my garage version. That is a version of being my uncle's garage that was right down the road of here. But that's my original Dirty Dick garage to remind me of my uncle's garage.
Okay.
And that's why I get the gas pumps. I am actually going to put this gas station like that in front of my house out here in the shop.
So you're planning on doing a
Someday.
whole renovation of this outside the shop and
Yeah,
everything?
wait till it comes. Just give me another year.
What's this? What's
This is an All-Star shirt from Rick Nickles.
Rick Nickles, we talked about earlier, won
Right.
the second World of Outlaw show at Lamland in a spring front car.
What year would this be from, Tim?
Ooh, that's probably back from the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
Here's an old banner. Back in the days when TNN used to do that. They gave that to me. They came to our campsite at Eldora. We always set up a big hillbilly gypsy tent, and 50 to 100 hillbillies would show up with family, and we'd cook all weekend. But TNN showed up to our camp that year, and they gave us that, and we made the
Nice.
TV and everything that year. It's one of the nice
So
memories.
I keep seeing all this over here. What
it's
is
nothing
this?
really. It's just a few
There's a
sprint
fence
cars.
here. Is this from a
This is the
racetrack?
gate. Check this out right here. See? If
Straight
you don't
side.
get credentials, you can't get in here. So did you call for your credentials?
Credentials or credentials?
Credentials, credentials. I
Yeah,
should
that's
say,
what I
right
thought.
there.
Yeah.
And then the ticket booth's outside. You probably didn't get your ticket, but then you come right on in here to our little track, and we got a few simulators in here.
When it says Nickel Brothers, he's a hillbilly, so he will change the words of that.
I know it's true. So
But a
what?
lot of this up here is the years I spent at the SEMA show with Mopar. Just different guys. You'll notice the names. Chase Austin up there. There's Brian Clausen over here's autograph where he was in to the tournament right there. And, you know, and he come down here, and that's just, you read some of these stories, we paid out money. We had the Mopar Challenge that paid $5,000 to win in the simulators at the
At
Mopar
SEMA?
Million.
Or, at the Mopar Million.
Yeah, yep. And then this one down here, the Duel in the Dirt, we did this in Orlando at the PRI show. This is one of the parts for that. A lot of the people that signed on that starting to fade away a little bit. But we have more down here in the Duel in the Dirt. Let's just walk on down this side right here.
And is this fence from a racetrack, or is it just you made it here?
I put all that up myself.
Just decorate.
I put its decoration kind of hiding that. You can see the Kingsborough behind there, the Dirt Derby. But there's a piece that everybody loves. You talk about Eldora signs. That has to be an original that hung out there in North Star somewhere, and I have two of them.
Wow.
And like I said, a lot of people, well, they're worth a lot of money maybe. Nothing in here is for sale. This all goes to my grandson when I'm gone. I did this because I love it. I gave too much away, but I did it. I'm not sorry I did, but I could fill this 3 times up with what I gave away, autograph stuff, just to make friends and race friends. That's what I do.
So we got more pictures over here. Who's these
Oh, yeah,
winners
the
and all
family.
that?
Well, we go back here, and you've seen the trophy over there earlier that you
Right,
showed me.
right.
Well, this is a picture of Jeff Shepard at East Bay when we won King of the 360s in 2001. Here's the last lap pass on Jason Sides down there. Here's a picture of Kelly Kinsler in the East Bay. And look at this picture right here. Get all them in there. Do you think they know all of them?
I don't think they do.
Right here will be Randy Kinsler, Steve Kinsler, Randy Kinsler, Kelly Kinsler, Sheldon Kinsler, and Bob Kinsler. And here's one up there to Kelly. He drove a lot for us. And here's a picture of Greg Wilson, Saldana. We ran first and second at Limaland. Behind this banner, if you look, here's a good shot. We was in East Bay. And that was one of the years I went to East Bay, and we took 4 cars down there. Sal Dana, Kelly Kinsler, and Paul Weaver drove
There's
for
a
us.
Kelly Kinsler
There's a Kelly
sideboard.
Kinsler sideboard, yes.
Okay.
And one of my favorite sideboards is an old timer. We lost him at Eldora years ago, the Jimmy Johnson wing. Original wing off Jimmy's. Yeah, and here's pictures of, and of course Jack didn't make that one, but just one of my cousins made what pictures they had. Kind of a colossal of different things that's happened. Here's Rick
Now,
Under,
does your
Uncle's
track
car.
or your car have any relation to the Eldora Speedway track? Was it on the track first time, or what was
I
that?
was told.
That was my dad.
Okay.
My dad, that was old stock cars. They didn't even have them
Okay.
back then. And that was 1954. And that was Dad was the first one to go around
See,
the track.
okay.
But your dad
But it
told me
wasn't-
he made that track with Earl. He got drunk one night
Yeah, well,
and went and laid it out.
I just think Earl laid it out, and then Dad went up and
Well,
tested it.
okay, okay. That's what it was. They said, hey, you told me he got
Stamp of
drunk in
approval?
East Bay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, there's a picture of the go-kart, a buddy of mine that I sponsored. Here's Kevin Huntley in one of the simulators. Everybody know Kevin Huntley. We lost him. Here's Ed Lynch. We got Dave Laney right here in one of the simulators at his track in Sharon one time. Got to know him and Ryan real good.
And it looks like some banners from back in the day. You got
one
tickets.
of the All-Star banners. Oh, yeah, the tickets are down here. You want to show them. 1979, 78, some of the Eldora first outlaw shows and stuff down in there. Here's a stack of different tickets. I got
Hold
stacks of-
on, 11,000 to win.
Yeah.
You're telling me the World of Outlaws in 2022 are racing for less money to win at some of these events? They're 10,000 to win minimum.
You just figured that out?
The hell are you talking? How do you feel about that? You were racing for just as much back when a brand new house was almost $11,000.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Gas was only 38 cents a gallon.
oh my God.
And then most racers don't race for the money. They race because they can, and
Well,
then the money's at the end.
I would agree, but at least you could race for somewhat of a living back then
We could,
versus today
Right, yeah, we could make a living at our 10,000.
by winning. You didn't have to depend on a sponsor being
No,
there. You could win races and make some money
You
and
have
live.
to win. I mean, we race 4 times a week.
For when gas is 38
Didn't
cents,
cost
and
nothing, that's right.
a brand new truck is $3,500.
Good living. Well,
You know what I'm saying? I
If you had
mean,
a family, it might have got a little tougher, but for me, shit, I had money in my pocket.
well, when you were telling me about the first World Outlaw race at Eldora,
1978 finals. Right
And-
here's a picture of it. Right here. Shane Carson won it right there. Yeah, right there. Shane Carson won that first World Outlaw show,
31.
the 31 car that paid $10,000 to win. Shane Carson and my uncle and I went up. Earl Baldus counted out $10,000 in the Reese Cup box. We walked the door. The sheriff says to my uncle, "You need security?" He goes, "What the hell for?" We walked over to the picnic table over here. He counted out $4,000. Shane Carson. He bought a 1978 Camaro and still has it today,
brand new.
brand new, with his $4,000 winnings.
The late model guys can win 50 and 100 every weekend almost.
Yeah, there's a lot of them too.
But the sprint car guys are stuck with the Outlaws sucking 10,000 for half the season.
Well,
What's up with that, man?
That's something needs to change for the drivers, but it's hard. It's hard, you know. Just like I said, I tried to give away 2,000 this
You
weekend.
go to the racetrack, and I don't get it with the late model. It's good that they do, but you can't go to the racetrack. I mean, they put on a World Outlaw Sprint Car show. It's already $40 to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, man can't take his family to watch. So if he goes there to watch the World of Outlaws by himself, that's not building any family values. It's not doing the thing to keep the sport going, you know, because without the kids, it's not going to be anything. And if they price themselves completely out, and you know, evidently the late models are getting bigger crowds. I don't know what
They're
deal is.
charging about the same price to get in the
Yeah,
gate, though,
yeah,
too.
but-
and they
but
got
yeah.
the same
Bigger
family.
crowd,
They got
you
the
said,
same
yeah.
family
That means
atmosphere.
it all right there. You know, we want to see them all get paid, but I don't know the answer to some of these small tracks.
Well, I know some Dirt Visions and Flow Racing's making some big money.
I'm sure they are.
The XR Super Series is paying $50,000, $40,000 now every race.
If you could just take Flo's, the Dirt Visions fans, and put them in the grandstands and let them pay to get in, it'd be awesome. We could pay money.
Or if these
So we
streaming
can't do that.
companies pay for some of
You
the
know.
purse.
Absolutely, that's the whole deal. You know, people don't have to go to the racetrack now, so the gate's worse. You know, so that it's hard to keep. You know, the TV don't pay enough deal. It's good for the people to stay home, but right now, I don't think it's helping racing at all.
Well, and I think the XR Super
Killing us
Series,
vendors.
the XR Super Series is a good example of the streaming company paying the purses, because they are a streaming company. XR is a streaming company. They're paying some of the biggest purses in late model racing, and it's being paid for through the streaming revenues. You know, that ain't
They
putting...
got to share their money if we go continue to
Right,
car
and I think XR's doing
That's
it right,
all it
but I
is,
think the
everything.
flows and the dirt visions are just getting a little greedy out there, you know.
That's something we got to change. It's something I can't flow with, but it's going to have to change if we're going to have this racing because there's a lot of other things, little things that's going to cause it to go down. And people saying, I'm guilty. You know, you see 3 TVs over there.
Now,
I've watched all 3 visions.
In defense of streaming, I do think what people watch, they want to do.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever noticed, if I end up watching videos where people are fishing or something, I end up wanting to go fishing. So if I end up watching races, I want to go to races. The 4 Crown this year was probably one of the biggest attended 4 Crowns in a recent memory. Exactly. But we're in the middle of streaming, so the argument that it's taking fans away from the tracks, you could, if you're for streaming, you could argue, well, our streaming is what's making people want to come.
We only have.
So what? Why was 4?
Williams Grove and some of the big tracks, the only tracks that can do that.
But Saturday, okay. But what about Saturday at the 4 Crown? You could have watched everything on Flow for $12.50 at home.
Right. It's
so then, but why was it full with all these people then? For the first time, largest ever.
Yeah, it was. But
streaming companies would argue and say that's because we exposed your track and your series and your people out to more people, and now they're coming to your events.
But what you just have?
That's the argument.
That's bullshit. I mean,
well, you said yourself, someone lost $1 million and got the streaming.
I mean, I agree, but
I don't know.
It's weird. It's hard to judge. You're saying streaming's keeping people from coming to the track, but we're breaking record numbers.
It's definitely the little tracks are for sure. Eldora's that's a special event. Okay, that's a special event. The Outlaws,
but it's the biggest ever.
Yeah, it was the biggest ever. But, go to some of these other little shows. Go to some of the All-Stars at Atticus and Fremonts. They're not getting the crowd. They're not getting it. They're not getting even half of what they're trying, but they got to fill the seats to pay them bigger purses that we want.
So you're saying it works for the big marquee names, but it don't work for the regular old.
For the weekly show, it's not
it works for the corporation, not the mom and pop team.
Right. You hit it there somehow.
Okay.
Yes.
What else do you got down here?
I told him earlier, I said, what you need to do, they got candles that smell like apple pie and oranges or whatever. I said, now they need to come out with a candle that's when it's burning smells like methanol.
They've got them now.
And then but he's trying to say you just sit at home, watch Flow, and turn that on.
At least get a little bit. You don't get the electricity. Or you don't get the atmosphere,
or
you just get the smell.
And a lot of us can't go travel. Not everybody lives close to Eldora like I do, and they have to watch it, which is great for them people.
Or the next level that's coming is they're gonna start putting these damn Oculuses on and have a camera in the stands in the seats. They sit at home, put the Oculus on, watch the race.
And I think before that happens, that the iRacing and stuff like that's going to take over more. Fuel and everything going up 5-6 gallons electric. The electric's going to kill racing. By 2030, Honda's not going to be building no gas cars.
When aren't they?
2030, they're done. Then 2006.
Who told you that?
It's a fear. They're scaring them. They're scared. Fear mongering. Fear mongering. Fear mongering.
About what them Japanese do.
Oh God!
Let Ford do it.
Your president works underneath the Japanese. Your president works underneath. That's why we want electric and no racing. All right? Jeez, brain.
We're tagging
Biden.
Biden.
Hodgeshell area that I'm not done at.
This is your Jack Hodgeshell area?
This was an old wing of his, but of course my uncle probably chewed him and paid him $10 for it and put 31 on it, and they ran it for a while with John Hawk.
Okay.
But again, you see a lot of my collection of my cars, and some of the older ones I quit collecting after a while, started building simulators. Here's a couple trophies. Here's a Mopar Billion that I did with the Rat Bag game years ago. We paid $5,000 to win. Mopar did, and I have that trophy because my son won it.
Okay.
And you can see a little collection. Here's a great.
Is that a Jack Hodden or a Jack Hewitt or Hoddenshire?
That's a Hewitt sticker, I would say. Up there's a good one. Rick Ferkel, Shane Carson, Steve Kinzer, and Ted Johnson. Great picture there.
Rick Ferkel was kind of projected to be the World Outlaw guy, and then Kinzer came in and just started.
He lost by 2 points the first one or something.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but it was Sammy, Steve, Wolfie, and Ferkel what you could, at the time made the World of Outlaw.
Yeah.
It was them four that got the
And Ferkel never got one, did he?
No, never did.
Never did. No. But he was like the favorite when they started it.
Yeah, well, he was at the time, and Steve got hooked up with Carl, and that's all she wrote.
Yep. Oh, Carl.
There's my new 410 that's going to go in my new sprint car.
Okay.
All right. So it's a hillbilly style.
Okay.
But anyways.
It's a meaty motor.
Yeah.
It runs a little hot. Only when I have the hamburgers on it.
Oh, okay.
But any other time, it don't run too bad.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's when
okay.
My 410 grill.
And then what the hell is here? It's the last
You
row.
can see how the bench and everything works. That's how all my benches are going to look when I'm done. The black top,
Okay.
all the aluminum around there. But yeah, I got some pictures. I busted. Here's some more of that Dirt and the Jewel at the PRI show. Paid $1,000 to win, 500, 250 hard charge. Kevin Swindell won that.
And I noticed a micro sprint.
That is my cousin's, yes.
Okay.
He was pretty fast in that right there. He won a lot of races, a couple track
Was
champions.
that
Rookie
Jack
of the Year.
Nickles?
Jack Nickles. There's one of his wing. He's moved up to 360 and 410 now.
Okay.
He did his first year, a little bit of racing in 360 and didn't do too bad. And one of these days, this right here is going to be the outhouse. Got a long way to go there, but it's going to be heated, water, and everything outhouse. We don't want to take you out yet till we get all the outside stuff done, which next year maybe you come back, we'll have it. But it'd take you a while to be here if you're around to look around at it a little bit and read some
And
stuff.
so, what is the goal with TimSims Hillbilly High Banks? What is the goal of this place? What do you want it to be?
Pit stop for the racers. I want to get my cement in. I want to put my car wash in, get my lights up. I want the drivers, some of the race fans coming through might be able to pull up, camper, hook up. They come visit the, TimSims High Banks, the Hillbilly High Banks, run some RC cars, run some simulators, get to know me, and make a friend for life.
This is how we ride. This is how we